At one time, there was a golden age, the age of greatness. Then there were the forgotten times. But now, we're in an age of darkness.
You're all pink!
But then came a time of two heroes, bringing back the awesome to slay the silliness of our woke overlords. We can only pray they are not too late.
Hello, my green skins, and we continue the fantasy insanity because we all know the Rings of Power is gonna suck. You know, we got ourselves some craptacular fantasy coming up, and we gotta fix it up to do some real good stuff and show people that there is amazing fantasy in this world.
And this is not one of them.
You know what? I would say it's this is a guilty pleasure, and it's not a bad movie, not a great movie.
I wouldn't say it's bad, I wouldn't say it's amazing.
I would say
The special effects were amazing, though.
yeah, for a time, definitely, even more for that time. Like, holy shit! So
let's get into the movie.
let's get into the movie, Dragon Slayer. This is an interesting one, and I guess we kind of got a little vibe on how Erwin feels about it. But let's start off the story here. It starts off.
It's foreshadowing.
Yeah, this whole movie's fucking foreshadowing.
Can I just say before you start, this is a really competently made movie.
Yeah.
With very incompetent dialogue and plotting, and something got in the way of like really good storytelling.
Yeah, and most of it was the main stupid villain, which wasn't technically the dragon the entire fucking time. What can I say about this movie? Okay, it starts off that these people come to the last known Magus, Grand Wizard, the sorcerer, and they come banging on the door, basically, hey, you got to help us. Then out of nowhere, the main douchebag of the movie, we'll call him Captain Reginald Sir Douchebagish of Ultimate Doucheness.
Sheriff of Rottingham.
No, we can't call him. See, the Sheriff of Rottingham is awesome. That actor's an amazing.
He looks just like the guy from Robin Hood Men in Tights.
No, he doesn't.
Like, I'm gonna put the picture side by side. You guys decide.
Side by side, comment that shit. Do they look the same or do they have a different appearance? I would say they have a different appearance. He hasn't watched the Mel Brooks movie in fucking goddamn forever. So I say, so we got our Sherwood. Situation here.
We sure would do.
And the grand douchebag shows up and is basically like, hey, you're a powerful sorcerer. I'm going to fucking pick a fight with you for no apparent reason because...
Well, the reason was because he's technically pagan, and then this guy's a Christian, he's like the Catholic Church. Yeah, the Catholic Church.
Catholic, yeah. I think that's the vibe I got from this movie, that it has that vibe.
It is. It's determined by the creators. They wanted to make it about, like, the Catholic Church taking over England.
Maybe that was the idea and the vibe that they went for. I didn't read the Wikipedia to this, so I wouldn't know. So you have this douchebag show up and murder this guy, but the wizard basically gives him the knife to kill him, which I guess it was a knife of rebuke, which allows you to come back from the dead after a certain point. I've never seen a magical knife like that. So his apprentice gets this magical medallion, and he's like, well, I guess I'm going on the quest. And, after stripping his old manservant, and I mean, Jesus fuck, like, come on, what are you doing stripping your old manservant?
Sharpa.
He does the magical spell of stripper shadoo.
And then he just, like, brings his clothes back off.
Which was kind of funny. But you know what? You're gonna cast stripper shadoo on somebody. You do it to all the women. You're gonna stripper shadoo to the old man. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's actually in Harry Potter when Harry used it on Hermione.
Okay, I guess that's a Harry Potter scene that you saw in a hentai.
It was one of the later movies. Nobody really remembers that part.
No, wasn't it a part of the magical video game?
It was in Goblet of Fire. Nobody saw that movie, right?
Yeah, no one saw that movie. It was the Harry Potter and the visual novel that was made by some probably craziest guy on
the Japanese visual novel.
Yeah, the Japanese visual novel from some guy on Patreon. There are Russians on Patreon making these Harry Potter visual novels. They're out there. And they're probably making more money than most YouTubers.
So the guy gets stripped, and then after that, we get didn't he like go over to like the village where the dragon's attacking?
Yeah, so he starts going to the village, and then you get a cutscene of what they basically have been doing for years, according to the story. They basically do a lottery, kidnap, loosely, the church takes these women. I guess it's not the church. I guess it's their version.
They're young virgins. They have to be a virgin maiden.
Well, like I said, what they say about, I hate to say it, we have to take the quote from What We Do in the Shadows.
If you were going to eat a sandwich, you would just enjoy it more if you knew no one had fucked it.
That's the best way to put it. I'm sorry.
That's what's weird about it. Usually people enjoy when you come inside someone's sandwich. It adds to the flavor.
No, it doesn't add to the flavor. Screw you. Take it from a dragon.
Makes it a little more salty.
Look, personally, take it from a dragon, okay? See, what makes me annoyed about this, from a dragon perspective, let's look at it from the dragon's perspective. It's like, you don't want to eat skin and bone maidens. Like, I understand that humans want to bang stuff the second everyone reaches a certain age. That's understandable. But, give us every once in a while a fat virgin. They exist. They're usually hiding in their mother's basement. There you go.
They're usually males, though.
Well,
you can't be sacrificing males. They're the ones who go out to war and such. But I see the... I see the...
No.
Hold on.
In our now society, we have quite a lot of fat women. So we're great.
All right. So what I was going to say is, I don't look at it as they're eating meat. I see it as they're eating a life essence, which is, the alchemical process. And so when you have a virgin, it's a pure life essence.
I see where you're coming from that, and that's actually a great way of looking at it, because that's what I was explaining to you in this movie. This movie is alchemy and sorcery as a whole.
Yeah.
It really does have that.
Which makes sense. That's why I'm saying, this is a really smart movie. It knows what it's doing.
It is.
For that part. And then to get that idea to the audience, it doesn't know how to do that. It talks over the audience the whole entire time.
It really does. It really does on some levels. And that's the sad thing. As we continue on, we get our... he goes to fight the dragon, and he uses the element of the earth to basically cause a landslide. Traps the dragon underneath the ground.
Sometimes I use Taco Bell to make a mudslide.
Oh yeah, I make mudslides every once in a while, just not the ones you're thinking. Hey, every once in a while, a dragon has to take a piss. Every once in a while, an orc war chief has to take a piss off a mountain. And what am I saying?
Causes a mudslide.
Causes them mudslides. You got to watch out for that. Every once in a while, you're going to take a pee. Like that's what a lot of people don't understand. A dragon's urine stream is like a fucking fire hose on crack. So there you go.
Yeah, it's like that scene in the Temple of Doom where the water is like bursting through the mountain. That's how powerful the water stream is.
It's like the scene from UHF where they got Weird Al Yankovic is being chased by the boulder. That's what that's like. It just keeps going and going and going.
So about this movie,
that we just kind of grazed over. So he goes and frees, and all of a sudden everyone's so happy. They're so happy. And the guy, the boy who's banging on the door is actually a woman in disguise. And so she ends up going, well, hey, I don't need to wear my disguise anymore.
Wait, can I interrupt for real quick? Because the way they reveal her being nude, it's the dumbest fan service thing I've ever seen in my life. They have her get revealed that she's a woman by having the guy jump to the water naked, thinking that's another boy. It's like, hey, I'll swim around with you. And she's like, no, get away. It's like the whole Mulan thing. It's like, no, get away. And then he sees her bare ass body, and he's like, oh, she's got big, fat, juicy titties. And then he jumps out of the water, and he's all shocked and
you know
afraid.
What? That's the truth. That's the one thing Mulan fucked up. They
didn't get nudity.
Well, yeah, that a family movie. Disney was pretty dark with their old school fantasy. So,
correction, Disney with Paramount Productions.
Oh no, let's call it a Disney movie, because it's more fun to say it's Disney.
Which is weird because, apparently Paramount and Disney combining is the worst thing ever. It's like combining, I don't know.
Disney and Marvel?
It's like combining banana with chili.
No, it's like combining Disney with Marvel, or it's like combining Disney with Fox. It's like combining Disney with everything. that Disney's fucking done now.
Or combining DC with CW.
Well, actually, that created Riverdale, so that's awesome. And Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Ah, shut the hell up.
So we get ourselves a princess. We get ourselves our main lead gets captured by the bad guys. Shows some magic to the king, which is unamused.
I am not amused.
He just wants to figure out how this boy casts the spell, and then he gets his ass kicked. They don't show it, but he gets his butt kicked because the king finds out the medallion he's been carrying around has magic in it.
And it has magic in it because the wizard put his soul into the medallion.
Maybe. We're not sure. We're not 100% sure.
That's literally what happened.
Oh, it's technically, yeah, but...
He dies, medallion glows. Later on, he uses the medallion to revive the guy. And then when the medallion gets destroyed, the wizard blows up Allahu Akbar style.
We're ruining the Disney princess, the forgotten one. Like, we have ourselves a Disney princess. She meets our prince, our main antagonist, the wizard sorceress, or wizard apprentice, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, just so you know how they've been sacrificing all these women, like that innocent maiden that we got to see in that weird horrible flashback where she gets eaten she gets like set ablaze."
Yeah, she gets grabbed by the chicken leg and then she gets pulled away.
No, she doesn't get grabbed by the chicken leg. The dragon sets her on fucking fire. Hey.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So, like, that's a brutal death. Like, that's like, hey. Like, the dragon, I understand. Like, again, you want to set someone on fire. You want to cook off a... he's probably sprinkling a little salt on him, just doing that little, like, sprinkle of salt and then boom,
I like my maidens well done.
So, anyway, the... poor maiden gets
burst into flames.
Yeah, bursts into flames, and then the basically we find out that the king has been throwing his daughter out of the lottery, making sure that she's not a part of it, and they're just sacrificing to porn.
Yeah, so she like forces every single one of the names in the lottery to be her name from all the past. It's been like fucking like 30 years of her like just avoiding the lottery.
Oh no, 30 years of him doing this. So who knows how long, like, okay, she was of age.
Yeah, she was. So
she's in her, like you're supposed to be like a teen. She's supposed to be a teenager. So, like, anywhere between, like, 18 and 19. So, like, they start doing this to 15-year-olds. At least that's what I'm thinking. And it's like, holy shit. So, like, that's at least, like, 5 years that he's been hiding her from the auction.
Yeah, so then now the princess, she goes to get sacrificed. So meanwhile, the hero is gathering up resources to kill the dragon, so he gets a spear from the blacksmith, who is the father of the boy girl.
Yep.
And he creates a spear that can cut through horseshoes and anvils.
Yeah, and then he gets the medallion, then he enchants it with magic, and this fucking thing can cut through anything now. It's like an insanely powerful spear. And so he goes off to save the princess because he actually kept a word to the king that fucking stole the medallion in the first place. Yeah, sure, I'll save her.
And then the boy girl, she thinks that he's going out to save her because she thought that the guy liked the princess, that he's in love with the princess, even though,
yeah,
I don't know when, but he somehow said that he loves the blacksmith girl.
Well, yeah, he said he loves somebody. It was
we create this like love triangle between the blacksmith girl, the poor peasant, the oppressed worker, and then the rich bourgeoisie princess.
Yeah, our Disney princess, our forgotten Disney princess. And the valid reason, she is a valid Disney princess because she's a valid forgotten Disney princess because she fucking dies.
Yeah, she gets killed by the youngins of the dragon. Like, she gets eaten alive.
Oh, yeah, like, you see, like we get a scene where you can actually see the dragon fucking eating her foot off, and they actually tear a big chunk of her foot.
For kids.
Yeah, for kids. A family movie from Disney. By the way, we gotta zoom in on the poster. PG, baby. P-fucking-G.
You're damn right you gotta ask your parents for permission.
Gotta ask your parents permission to watch this thing.
Like, you think this movie could be shown in school? I guess because Romeo and Juliet with the titties hanging out, the 70s version, that was in school.
Well, yeah, there's quite a few movies that were shown in school. I'm not gonna get into that, but, but this could be shown in school, technically.
Like my favorite comedy film, Schindler's List.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then we have this violent death right off the hop, and then it turns into this fight sequence with the dragon, and you finally get to see this fucking thing. This dragon, up to this point, is barely seen, and it sucks. Like, this is the main reason this movie that took an hour.
It's in the title.
Like, that was an hour of us watching that movie, and I'm like,
An hour of no dragon in a movie called Dragon Slayer.
Yeah.
This is why I say it's like, it's so competent in some areas, and then like to actually get the audience to enjoy
Yeah.
it, that's where it fails. And
oh, the funny thing is, it's a cult classic.
that it really is about execution. This is an amazing concept with a terrible execution.
Yeah, it had a great idea, and then they go. They don't kill the dragon, but he gets away. He kills the younglings, which, you know, every hero has to kill the younglings. Okay, so after that, we get he's going to fuck off. Then he realizes, oh shit! I finally realized the wizard didn't kill himself. That dagger was a dagger of rebuke. So he runs back.
No, he sees the eclipse in the sky, and he's like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
we're not done yet. And then he also sees the lake he's trying to escape on burst into flames, the lake of fire. He's like, lake of fire, eclipse. Old man, wait, something's going on. I gotta go back to the cave. And he like runs over back to the cave.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the Catholic Church is doing its Catholic Church thing.
They're doing some kind of ritual saying, we're gonna slay the dragon using our power of God.
Yeah, the power of God, which, you know, helped out that other guy that got, like, you know, set up.
Burst in the flames also.
Yeah, burst in the flames also.
Oh, can I also just add that moment when the church guy sees the dragon and the dragon's like horns appear like slowly rising above him? That's fucking great. Like, that's amazing symbolism.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We're gonna get to that shit. Don't worry. So we get ourselves. He resurrects the wizard. The wizard fights the dragon, and then he basically says, "Yeah, hey, you know that gem that gave you? That's actually my soul. I want you to hit it at the right time." So he's going to do it and cast the spell. So Buddy goes to hit his girlfriend wants to hit it, but he's like, no, don't hit it. I'm going to do it. And then he waits, does it, hits him, and then he explodes into magic. And this is where it gets fucking crazy. The Catholic Church comes up and goes, hey, we're the ones that killed the dragon. Then the king walks up and stabs his sword and goes, no, I'm the one that killed the dragon. And the movie kind of ends with a kind of funny moment, which we'll leave to people. So yeah, now what did
it ends with the horse magically appearing after they say all the magic is gone.
Oh, what the fuck, man! Oh, well, anyway. Okay. If anybody's watching this, you're pretty much watching the movie at this point. We don't get, like, we're gonna review it.
Do we really have to worry about spoilers for like a 50-year-old movie?
I'm not that old, thank you very much. Make me sound ancient, you bastard.
We'll fucking spit out everything.
So, what did you think of the acting for this movie?
Acting. It was okay. I don't think I can really complain about it.
pretty good for something that was shot in Ireland and Wales and Scotland.
Oh no, because that's not even the problem. The problem is like, I don't know if it's the actors being hammy or like the actors being just like fucking bland, but something about the way they deliver dialogue is really, really like
Uncanny Valley.
It's like Silent Hill level of Uncanny Valley. Yeah, like it's very like bored.
I know, and a lot of them are Shakespearean actors, which is kind of interesting because a lot of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, like some of them are like really like trying to like chew the scenery with like a Shakespearean actor way, and other ones are just like, where is the boy? Where is the dragon? Oh, look out, the dragon's coming.
The King's a good example of this. He doesn't really, other than like one or two scenes, he doesn't really show, like, it's like kind of like a level of boredom to half this fucking movie.
It's my daughter. Save her, I beg you.
And then you get the main actor acts good. The guy who plays the sorcerer acts good. And there was some neat stuff with that.
The girl, she was kind of the part of the problem. Like the way that she acted was really like up and down.
Well, she was okay. Yeah, she was okay, but she wasn't great.
Some scenes though, she was goddamn terrible. I'm gonna put a scene right here where she's like horrible.
It's all right. I understand. She's very beautiful.
Yeah, she is absolutely bad. That love scene was kind of awful. Yeah, fuck that scene was bad. And in general, this was a good movie, but it just had its moments for that. Now, this is where we get into the filming and the whole story art, like the whole visual side of stuff. This movie has so much visual symbolism and it's so well shot on multiple levels, right?
A lot of times we were like, dude, this is an amazing shot. And it kind of hangs there. So it's telling you, pay attention here. This is like a visual symbolic thing. Like the part with like the fake dragon, like whatever, the statue thing. And then like the guys completely ignore it to go towards the pagans. It's like, our problem is not the dragon. Our problem is the pagans here.
Yeah, no, they the problem was the sorcerer, and the sorcerer was the pagan.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of fun how they did that, where even that scene where he's sitting there spinning the pig on the spit.
Yeah, like that.
He knows what he's doing. He's a complete fucking asshat that's trying to murder a fucking...
He's a complete psychopath.
Yeah, he is a psychopath. This entire movie, he's just... he's not even like... I don't even know why he does half the stuff he does, because it's so blatantly fucked up. It's like he's just he's not really a coward, because he doesn't care about murdering people. And
I guess the problem is that he's not trying to be a real villain. He's trying to be a symbolic villain, and that's kind of the problem. Is that it separates the scene from the symbolism. So that's where we get the surrealness from.
Actually, the sad thing is that from what I've heard, I think he is a hardcore, like I think he's a Shakespearean actor, and I've heard someone say to me once that I know he's really good in other stuff. This wasn't his good. This was...
that seems to be a common thing. Like the main bad guy from the other movie we were watching, Hawk the Slayer.
Yeah, we're getting to a bad guy that does it right. Now, what did you think of the visual effects for this movie? Or did you want to keep talking about the symbolism?
Well, because when they say it's made by the same, like, George Lucas films, whatever kind of production area, yeah, you see a lot of that in there. You see, you know that one part in Star Wars when, like, they're going down the, like, trough or whatever it's called in the Death Star? That's similar to, like, in this movie, they have a moment where, like, the dragon's going to, like, this trough of, like, mountains. It looks almost exactly the same. And I don't know if they had to do that for budget reasons or they did that as, like, a reference, but it looks amazing. It looks wonderful.
It does. It really does.
For no CGI? Holy crap, how did they do this? And then half of it is, like, stop motion. And I'm like, when we were looking at, like, the part where, like, the dragon's, like, just hoisting himself up onto some kind of ledge, we're like, how many hours does some poor bastard have to take a picture each movement?
Oh, one of my favorite shots is that shot where the dragon's breathing fire, because you gotta imagine, okay, you gotta stick a hose in that fucking puppet. Hope it doesn't catch fire, because you never know. You put too much fucking paint on it, you put too much fucking this on it, this thing could explode in your fucking hands. And so you gotta sit there, okay, ready? Ooh. And it's just like, holy shit, that had to have been terrifying. But what had to be even more terrifying was the actual animatronic. You know, some motherfucker was in that thing.
Yeah.
Fucking hoisting it around, moving it around, fucking. And that was what made it cool. Like that, actually, that's the thing that this movie, no one remembers about 80% of this movie.
Because 80% of the movie is nothing. There's nothing really happening except for, like, the build up to the end.
Yeah.
Which is where all the budget was spent. Because the ending, the last 30 minutes is like, what, like $5 million worth of shit?
Yeah, I know. It's just fucking hysterical how they did that. And this movie actually got some praise. Like, it was second place runner-up to another movie, and it had its moments. But...
It was praised for its score. The score was praised, even though I couldn't really hear it in this version that we were watching.
Well, that's the funny thing. We both listened to the score, and I gotta be honest, the score is mediocre.
It's just there. It's background noise.
It's there. Yeah, it is background noise.
Like, if it was Hawk the Slayer level, yeah, I could totally tell that that's like a runner-up.
Yeah, Hawk the Slayer is fucking epic. Like, you know, Legend had some good moments. Willow.
You know what's also kind of interesting to know? So this movie was inspired by the idea of that Fantasia movie where Mickey's like the Sorcerer's Apprentice,
really?
Right? That's what inspired this movie to be created. That's why Disney did it, because, you know, connected. But that thing was all about music. And this one is like trying to be music, but they fuck up on that part too. So what the hell?
I know. I don't know why. I like this got second place in music. I really didn't remember, and that's the sad thing.
Must have been a slow year.
It must have been you know, fucking. I'll take a slow year over the slow decade we've had recently. I can only think of a handful.
Oh, what about slow century so far for me?
Oh, slow decade for me, man. This was good, but it's not great. That's the sad thing. Like this was. I knew you wanted to watch this. Oh, this sounds so fucking cool. I'm like, really?
I really did. And I'm not that disappointed in it because the symbolism did impress me, and the animations impressed me. The visuals are I had never-ending story vibes the whole time, especially in those moments where they had like that choppy background while they're like up on the mountain.
Yeah.
Like lightning's crashing and the clouds are moving like a million miles an hour.
Yeah, and the wizard gets like his lightning bolt and blows off the dragon's wing.
Yeah.
There's some cool moments, and this was a great fucking movie, and on some levels, but at the same time, it is not well, you know what I would say? It's a good movie, but not a great movie. There are elements in this that would have made this. It's funny, like we were talking about Hawk the Slayer, like all the way through this, and we were like, the low budget movie worked because it had amazing music, it had amazing effects, and it
had a great execution. It quite literally is about tone and execution that really saves a low budget movie. Like that's why Hawk the Slayer for me is much better than this one, even though this one's way more competent and way higher budget. Better concept, more symbolism, all that jazz.
So, what do you want to rate this bad boy?
I would rate this movie probably around a 6 or a 5.5, just because the opening, it takes away like half of the score I'm giving. The opening is so slow.
I'm going to give this movie a... That's a tough one. You know what? I'm going to give it a 6.4. And a 6.5, because for a large portion of this movie, it's like for that like 20% of that end of that movie is really good and actually exciting.
If that whole movie was just like the ending of it, that would be like a 10 out of 10 movie for me. But because a big chunk of it is just a waste, it's like, hey, it's like it kind of removes the score a bit.
Oh yeah, and there's a lot of scenes that don't make a lick of sense, like why the bad guy's going around killing people and picking a fight with this guy. Like he's picking a fight with everybody. It's like, okay, buddy, what's the point of picking a fight with the wizard? What's the point of picking a fight?
Yeah, and better yet, if they didn't pick a fight with the sorcerer and stuff, the dragon wouldn't even really bother them, I think, right?
My theory is that if they had left the dragon probably would have broke out eventually, but because of their attitude, because of how it just kind of like the vibe of him, like it's just really convenient that when he ends up in jail is the second that dragon starts fucking breaking fucking stuff and causing earthquakes. It's the second that happens.
Yeah.
It wasn't until that point. So it's clear it wasn't just the dragon that did that. I think the dragon was stuck underneath that rock slide, and them locking him up caused the problem. And that's what I think. I think the wizard knew that this was like there's a good symbolism scene where the wizard looks at the Christian cross. He knows the time of magic's ending, so he's going to go down with the dragon.
Yeah. Wait, so can we talk a bit about symbolism before we end this review?
Well, we did talk about symbolism. Do you want to talk a little more?
No, but there's way more that I want to say because, okay, so when he goes in the cave, there's a lake of fire, right?
Yeah.
In the Bible, Book of Revelations, there's a part where I'm over here. It says, "And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that worshipped his image.
Yeah.
These both were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with brimstone."
Well, that's the thing. If you take the fact that the guy the big bad in the movie, the bad guy, wears a symbol of a fucking dragon on him, there's that level of him being the false prophet.
Mark of the beast.
Mark of the beast, yeah. Oh yeah, no, this movie has so much symbolism. That's why I didn't want to step on the symbolism. I wanted to kind of leave it blank for people to see.
Oh no, you don't have to step on it. You just have to like kind of mention that thing. So a lot of the movie has to do with the Book of Revelations, which is crazy to think about. That like a movie about dragon slaying has to do with the Bible. But the whole thing's about Christians versus pagans.
I personally think a little bit of his reading into it, but I do agree with you that the level of symbolism in this, like my favorite, like I said, the last moment is the last bit of like at the end of the episode, the end of the movie, the symbolism is him summoning the horse, and it's like, well, the last bit of fucking old magic, and that's what it is. And in a way, like I said, the wizard knows that his time is up, and he knows, like when he stares at the cross, he knows his time has come. It's over. Like, so he has decided the dragon can't exist in this world, and he can't exist because they're both creatures of magic. One is a creature of chaos.
Yeah, creatures of old.
Yeah, and that's the fucking problem with this movie. Like, we can sit here and spend a fucking solid hour talking about the symbolism because it has such a symbolism aspect. What we'll say is this: we'll kind of touch off on a couple more symbolism points, and then we'll end the review. But
Like,
if you want to hear more like us talk about this movie's symbolism, leave a comment, leave a like, and say you want to hear us actually break this down. We'll watch the movie again and we'll break it all down.
I'm down.
I'm down for it too, because there's lots. Like, I would honestly say that the idea of the old king could be a form of like this movie does. Maybe we're reading too much into it. For all we know,
The
we're
king,
fucking,
when he like steals the kill, like that one thief guy, and cut in the destroyer.
yeah, he steals the fucking kill, and there's a lot to that actually. And there's an idea of who he is. There's the idea of what the line does. Like, all that stuff could be like, we could break this fucker down. Like, this has so much it's dripping with symbolism.
Yeah, which is a shame because it's not really audience friendly.
No, it's not. And like, to us, like I said, we both look at it. I think it's because our one of us is a philosophy major, the other one's a history, the other one's a folklore major. I studied ancient folklore and magic and all this shit. So we both kind of
Just for the record, I don't have a philosophy major. I never went to college or anything.
Well, thanks. I give us some nods and credits, and now you fucking burn it down. Well, thanks a lot.
That's what dragons do, right?
Oh, fucking bastard. Yeah, we will. If you like it, we'll do this. You give us a comment, give us a like, and we will actually break this fucking movie down to the fucking mile. It's up there with Legend, which is going to be the next movie we're doing.
I hope you like Tim Curry as a demon.
I fucking wouldn't have it any other goddamn way. That's going to be an interesting movie for him to watch. He's never seen Legend. I think, yeah, you said you didn't see Legend, so...
Never seen Legend, but I do like Christianity stuff, so we're going to be enjoying that one for sure.
This one definitely don't have a lot of that. The next one's not going to have a lot of that. Alrighty, so thank you everybody. Like, sub, subscribe. Thank you for all the viewers we've been getting lately. We've been getting a lot of people recently. And we'll see you in the Legend review. Have a good one.
Later.